So I thank you for joining me today with how to connect with important people. It's part of the Executive Education for Everyone series that was published in 2010. Relationships mean response. So you want to get response from important people. We're going to go through uh, 4 different things today. And I should introduce myself, Dr. James Smith, the director of I4 Advantage, an interdisciplinary executive life coaching firm and organizational development. What we're going to be going over today is the 4 areas of relationship building and understanding ourselves as the most important person. Because if we don't know ourselves and have met ourselves in the way that we have a vision for where we want to go, then what we're going to end up with is taking a very long time and maybe never being quite grounded in who we are, accepting something less than we could be, which isn't bad, but it's not the best. If you're interested in growth and in contributing in the very highest levels, then this particular instant seminar is for you. Now, if you join the seminar, somehow we didn't get connected on this last time, that might have been a technical difficulty, and I apologize for that. This being my first Zoom meeting, it may not have happened. I may not have linked into the right place, so you may have been there and somehow we missed on. This video will be for you to catch up on that so you don't miss anything. And what we've got, we're going to go over you as the most important people, and then that will help you identify who you have to speak with. Then the 4 levels of introducing ourselves, the physical level of getting near the person, getting their attention, the level of sharing your personality, your attitude, your emotional conversation that you have first time that you meet, the mind share piece where you share your values by living them out, and both at that moment and beyond. And then the place where a decision is made if you're going to get together and build an estate together, help build a company together, help build a life or a marriage together. This is good for both personal and business. The dynamics are the same, just that the context is a little bit different. Where humans are involved, you're always going to have 4 things. You're going to have our physical bodies and everything else that's physical around. You're going to have our psychology, our beliefs, our emotions, and the energy, the feelings. There's going to be our values of relationships with one another and how we relate to all things. And then there's going to be money and assets that are used in a particular way for a home, for capital goods in a business, to really make more, make our world beautiful as business has. Always will, when it's done freely and voluntarily and among people who are well informed and educated. And that's one of my goals in presenting things the way that I do. So let's see if I can get our case set up with a little bit of my screen share. And get right into this. Okay, please forgive me. What's going to come up here? Not sure. So let me just get back here. Takes a moment. Thank you. So start out with a great scene from The Messenger, Joan of Arc. Now, Joan was a young lady who knew what her vision was, how she was called. And because of that, she was able to know who she had to meet. Her goal, her vision that she'd had from a child and that she nurtured very deeply in her spirit was that she was going to help the Dauphin, the king elect, to actually be crowned King of France during the time when England was invading. And what happened was, she had to meet him. She had to get in his presence. She'd sent letters, so she'd sent some physical things there. She'd been invited to at least try to come in and see what she had to say, and everybody was scared because important people like a king, like a leader of a company, like the head of a family. We're all important. If somebody wants to see us, it's going to be a matter of getting an open and an invitation, and then passing their tests. And she had to pass some tests. The first test that she had to pass was actually finding him. They decided to hide the king, and so somebody else impersonated him. And they said, if she's really serious, if she's really who she says she is, she's going to be able to tell. And she could tell. So she went to the man on the throne and said, I can see you're not the king. You're a very good man, or the Dauphin. Where is he? And she says, he's here. You'll find him, they told her. So she went, and when she saw him, she knew exactly who he was. She started heading toward him, and the knives came right to her throat. When the knives came to her throat, it was like, okay, you know who he is, but you're still not going to touch him. Because we don't know who you are. And so what she had done was pass the first test, but still not close enough. And so she stopped. She didn't try anything weird. They put the knives down, and then she showed her energy, and she just fell at his feet, spoke to him, and then they went and they shared some values. What are you going to do together? And then he gave her some assets, an army to do it with. That's always the situation. It's the same in dating. You got to get in with a date with somebody. You got to be where people are to meet the right person, and you've got to go out on a date and really share and see if you get invited back. If you've done well with the physical, you've done well with the emotional, and you've done well in those two areas, you'll get maybe a second date. And there's a lot of people that are competing out there for relationships, for positions, for everything. And it's a great thing. It helps get the best people in the best areas. So what ends up happening is you get another date, and you might actually, be a boyfriend, girlfriend, and then you might decide, let's throw our estates together and put our economy together, put our bodies together, put our everything together. And then you've gone as far as you become part of it. You're now a leader in that. And those are the steps. So sometimes you don't know where you're going. It's very possible that the leader you wanted didn't do it. You've lost out. There's nobody left to contact. And I was in this kind of a position where I knew what I was working on. And I knew the research that I was doing. I knew it was important. I knew nobody else had done it. But I'd run out of anybody who could help me put it together in a way that was credible for the academy. And I put everything I had into it, so I had nothing left, and ended up here at the Buffalo area. I'm in the Buffalo University right now. I do research here from time to time. So all of a sudden, I was working on this, what exists in human experience. And there's a special word, ontology. It's $1 million word. It just means this exists. It's real. It's tangible. It's objective. And what are the objective things? And I did some research, and I found that the president of the National Society dedicated to this work in science was here in Buffalo. So I met him. Everything changed. I had my academic foundation. I could publish, and I could build my business on that. Research and publications, and continued research, continued publications. So it just, I knew who I was, and I just kept going. And that's what important people do. So I hope to be important one day that way. And I'm going to show you the 4 levels of relationship, just what we're going to be looking at here. As you get in front of the people that you want to be in front of, with your elevator speech, with your brochures, with your business card, with your phrase, with yourself. You're going to go from left to right, 1, 2, 3, 4. These are the steps, pretty simple. Get attention, be liked, be trusted, be a leader. And that's the way it is all the time. If you believe in love at first sight, it's not wise still to go from, I saw him or her and so now I'm going to make them a leader. That's a little premature. It is known to happen, but it's also known very well that it's a bad situation because you end up with a totally unknown just by sight. There's a process, and it's a human process in both business and personal and executive leadership. So lead your own life, be a leader of yourself, to be a leader of others. And here we're going to go over them really quickly. Get attention. Going right down. It's an eye level thing. We see billions of people. How are we going to stand out? Well, we could show some skill. We could have a brag book. We have to know who we are and present our skills in a powerful way. We are one of many. We have a very short time in which to do this. This is like first hurdle interviews. This is like speed dating, any of those things. And we have to be in proximity. We have to be there. It's a physical level thing. So get your physical, very powerful as it can be, and be as close as you can be, and do well. Once you're there, it's not a matter of just your skills, but how you present them. It's not a matter of just how good the food tastes, but how it's presented. It's not just a matter of the quality of the idea, the profitability of the idea, but it's how it's packaged. It's an emotional piece. When it's an attitude piece, it's a branding piece. It's yourself. And you're a beautiful person with beautiful ideas. So how do you package them? So you're comfortable, confident, competent. You're one of few now, if you get to that level, where you've actually gotten the opportunity to be on stage at the first hurdle. And you're much closer. And it's an energy level. It's a level of how you appear to the other person, sound to the other person. Getting attention is eye to eye, and getting liked is often mouth to mouth, a joke. How do you do those things? So once you've got that, okay, you're physically okay, you're not going to hurt anybody, you're emotionally okay, you're not going to hurt anybody, kind of fun, you got to be trusted. That's more long haul. It's a cognitive mind share. It's where you share your values. You show what's most important to you. That given a set of possible actions, which one will you take? Because that's what's important to you. Will you rest or will you work? Will you save or will you spend? Will you love and share time together or will you leave? So it's really your candidate. You're right there. You may even be hired at a lower level. You're in there. So you have to have a focus and share your relationships. This is what I want to be to you, and I've proven it. Now, that has to be accepted by the other side, but if it is, then you become that competent leader. You show your vision now as that leader. And then it's an important lifetime thing that you're going to do. What else? You're going to be leading others, but mostly you're going to be entrusted with the assets and the money. That's your budget. That's your household budget. That's the home. That's everything. You are center space. And again, going left to right, get attention, be liked, be trusted, be a leader. No instant shortcuts here. No need. This is cause and effect. It's not necessarily just step by step, but these steps are here. They may trust you a little bit, and if they trust you, then they'll like you more. Then you get more attention, then you'll be a stronger leader. But generally, that's the way, and that's all there is to relationships. Now, I coach in all of these areas, the physical area, the emotional area, the trust area, the relationship area, and the leadership area. And I'd like to be able to help in all of that. You can go to i4advantage.com and get some more information. Get a free life map, free business map, free consultation. How I go about doing this, and maybe some advice that would help to make a little more sense out of it. And you'd see your life in a way you've never seen it before. Complete, whole, and future-oriented for growth, contribution, connection, security, excitement. Be a little bit of excitement there. And you'll also feel, wow, this is great. I'm really, really cool. And because you are. So what I'd like to do is just ask any questions. You can send them to me, J Smith, and then i4advantage.com. Thanks a lot. So appreciate it all. Bye-bye. Let's see if I can get this now.